Durability, performance, and versatility. That's what customers expect from a large wheel dozer built by Caterpillar. And the 844 delivers. Proven over time to maintain the standards our customers require for exceptional results in a wide range of applications. Being the best in its class calls for the highest standard of quality, and this machine delivers with the best productivity in the industry. While you should view this video in its entirety and adhere to its guidelines, it is not a substitute for the operation and maintenance manual. Please study the O&M manual thoroughly. We'll discuss 5 key areas in this video. All have information unique to the 844. They are safety, walk-around daily maintenance, operator station, operator controls, shutdown. The Operation and Maintenance Manual provides the knowledge you need to operate the machine safely. Throughout this video, we will include safety tips that you should follow at all times. The information in the O&M manual and video is not all-inclusive. Caterpillar cannot anticipate every potential hazard. Remember, every decision that you make affects your personal safety and the safety of others. When you are on the job, always be aware of any potential problems and hazards. The safe operation of any machine begins with a thorough walk-around inspection. You should perform this inspection with the machine on level ground before you start your work shift. Develop a routine when you conduct the walk-around, primarily looking for machine irregularities such as loose, missing, or damaged parts or leaks. Notice the safety stickers that are located throughout the machine. Your routine will help you become consistent and thorough. Remember, operators should report anything that may cause unsafe operation or damage to the machine. Begin your walk-around of the 844 at the left rear wheel. Check the inside and outside of the tire and notice the rim condition. Look for any loose lug nuts and cracked, bulging, cut, or worn tires. There is a small service area located in the left rear bumper that contains the battery disconnect, the light switch that illuminates the stairs, and the ground-level engine shutoff switch. The battery compartment is located in the left and right side of the bumper. As you move around the back of the machine, check the rear fan grill and the radiator for any debris. Look for any cracked light lenses, and check the underside of the machine for any leaks, loose bolts, or broken parts. As you continue your walk-around to the right rear of the machine, remember to check the handrails and steps for any damage. Next, check the right rear wheel and tire as you did on the left side. Below the cab on the right side of the machine, you will find the hydraulic oil sight gauge for the implement and brake systems. The hydraulic oil should be checked when the engine is off. The oil level should fall between the add and the full marks. If you need to add oil to the implement and brake hydraulic oil tank, the fill tube is located next to the cab on the right side of the platform through an access panel. Make sure to leave enough room for expansion. The right articulation area should be free of any debris. Check the condition of the hydraulic lines and steering cylinders. Make sure the center pins are greased and that the bolts are not loose on the U-joint and drive shaft. In this same area, you will find the steering frame lock. Always engage this lock when performing any service work in the articulation area. As you leave the articulation area, check the underside of the machine, the dozer push arms, and make sure the bolts are tight on the trunnion caps. Remember to inspect the right front wheel and tire as you did before. Next, visually inspect the back side of the blade and wear plates for any damage. The hydraulic cylinders should be checked for any leaks around the seals and for any damage to the rods, which might allow contaminants to enter the hydraulic system. Check the hydraulic hose connections and look for any cracked, bulging, or worn hoses. As you walk around the front of the blade, be sure to check the cutting edges and corner bits for wear. Look up to the cab area and check the lights and front glass. Finish your inspection of the hydraulic and blade area from the left side. Remember to check the wheel and tire as you did on the right side. The left articulation area should be free of any debris. Check the condition of the hydraulic lines and steering cylinders. Make sure the center pins are greased and that the bolts are not loose on the U-joint and drive shaft. Below the cab, on the left side of the machine, you will find the hydraulic oil sight gauge for the steering and hydraulic fan systems. The hydraulic oil should be checked when the engine is off. The oil level should fall between the add and the full marks. If you need to add oil to the steering and fan hydraulic oil tank, the fill tube is located next to the cab on the left side of the platform through an access panel. Make sure to leave enough room for expansion. Before climbing to the first platform, make sure the handrails and steps are in good condition. As you climb, always maintain 3 points of contact. Next, open the engine compartment door and check the engine oil level. The dipstick has a fill level mark for when the engine is off. You also need to check the air filter indicators on a daily basis. The indicators should not be in the red zone. As you walk up to the cab area, keep 3 points of contact. The coolant sight glass is located behind the cab. The coolant sight glass should show full before you begin operation of the machine. The windshield washer fluid container is located behind the cab. At this time, make sure that the windows and mirrors are clean. Upon entering the cab, make sure your seat belt is in good condition and fasten it. Next, adjust the stick controller, armrest controls, blade controls, and the Caterpillar seat. Become familiar with the controls for ventilation, air conditioning, heating, and defrosting. Note the location of the interior and exterior light switches. Now that you've become familiar with some of the standard cab features, we'll explain in a more specific manner the critical machine functions that are the heart of the 844. Remember, more detailed information is contained in the Operation and Maintenance Manual. Please study the O&M manual thoroughly. The gauge cluster on the left allows you to monitor the fuel level, along with the temperatures of the engine coolant, transmission oil, and hydraulic oil. In the middle of the console, there is a tachometer, ground speed indicator, and gear indicator. The Caterpillar electronic monitoring system is located to the right. The information is presented via Caterpillar's 3-level warning system. In Category 1, only the indicator light comes on. This alerts the operator that a machine system needs attention. In Category 2, the indicator light and action light flashes. The flashing action light means that a change in machine operation is required in order to avoid possible damage to the machine. A more serious Level 2 includes the action lamp and alert indicator will flash, and the action alarm will sound continuously. An immediate change in machine operation is required in order to avoid possible damage to the machine. In Category 3, the alert indicator light flashes, action light flashes, and the action alarm sounds a pulse tone. This alarm indicates the possibility of severe damage to the machine. Safely shut down the machine as soon as possible and report the problem. There is a scroll switch on the right-hand control panel that allows the operator to scroll between hours, distance traveled, tachometer, fault and service codes that are shown on the bottom portion of the monitor. Below the dash area, there are 3 pedals: the throttle control pedal on the right, the service brake pedal in the middle, and the impeller clutch brake pedal on the left. The impeller clutch pedal allows you to vary the amount of rim pull to the wheels from 100% to 20%. As the operator pushes the pedal downward, the torque to the wheels is gradually reduced to 20%. Continued downward pressure on the pedal applies the brake in increasing quantities. When you want strong rim pull, simply keep your foot off the pedal so that the torque converter delivers 100% of the available rim pull. Located on the blade control console is the Set, Accelerate, and Resume, Decelerate buttons for use with the Throttle Lock feature. The Throttle Lock feature allows the operator to set the engine RPM. To activate the Throttle Lock system, depress the Throttle Lock switch located on the right-hand control console. When the system is activated, a light on the dash will illuminate. You can disengage the throttle lock by using the right brake pedal or by turning off the throttle lock switch. If you use the right brake pedal to disengage the throttle lock, you can resume the desired RPM by pressing the Resume button. The torque converter lockup control feature allows the operator to engage the lockup clutch for more efficient operation at high speeds and for carrying loads. To engage this feature, push the rocker switch located on the right-hand control panel to the On position. There is an indicator light on the dash that shows when the torque converter lockup control is activated. The 844 is equipped with stick control steering for one-hand steering and transmission control. First, move the steering lock lever to the right. This unlocks the stick controller. Side-to-side motion of the controller steers the machine. Left moves it to the left, and right moves it to the right. After you have initiated a turn, the machine will keep turning in that same direction until you move the controller in the opposite direction. The trigger switch, located on the stick controller, gives you one-hand control of forward, neutral, and reverse. The buttons on the top of the stick controller select the operating gear with a single touch of the thumb. There are 3 forward and 3 reverse gears. You upshift with the top button and downshift with the lower one. This efficient and low-effort operation helps increase productivity. On the right-hand control panel, you will find the Quick Shift control. This feature will enable the transmission to automatically shift from first gear into second gear when the operator moves the transmission control from the forward to reverse position. To engage the Quick Shift, press the rocker switch to the On position. There is an indicator light on the dash that shows when the Quick Shift control is activated. To your right, you'll find the blade control lever. To lower the blade, push the lever forward. To raise the blade, pull the lever towards you. The lever will return to the hold position when you release it from the raise or lower position, but the blade remains in the selected position. There is a toggle switch on the top of the lift control lever that allows for single or dual tilt. In single tilt position, blade movements are more precise with less tilt range. For dual tilt, press the toggle switch forward. In this operating mode, blade movements are faster with more angle range. Move the controller lever to the right for right tilt and to left for left tilt. There is a red trigger switch on the control lever that allows the blade to tilt forward or backward. To tilt the blade forward, press and hold the trigger switch and move the control lever to the right. This action improves the dozer blade's ability to penetrate and dump the load. To tilt the blade backward, press and hold the trigger switch and move the control lever to the left. This action improves the dozer's ability to carry a load, assist in spreading the load in thin layers, and grading. Before starting the 844, make sure the parking brake is engaged, the stick lockout is engaged, and all controls are in the neutral position. The operator should sound the horn before starting the machine to clear the immediate area. Turn the start switch clockwise to engage the self-diagnostics and then start the machine. You should allow for the appropriate amount of warm-up time depending on the outside temperature. The ether aid will automatically activate in cold weather conditions. Once the engine has been started, if more ether is needed to help the engine run smoothly, press the ether aid switch located on the lower left of the console for 1 second every 15 seconds until the engine runs smoothly. Behind the cab, there is an access panel that reveals the transmission oil dipstick and fill. After starting the engine, check the transmission oil with the engine at low idle and the machine is on level ground. The oil level should read between the add and full marks. At this time, it's a good practice to exercise the blade hydraulic circuit by working all functions during warm-up. When roading, the operator should keep the blade high enough to clear obstacles. Avoid using the impeller clutch brake pedal as a brake when traveling downhill. Instead, you should select the appropriate transmission gear for the downhill conditions. Even load distribution on the blade will reduce stress on the hydraulics and avoid excessive corner dozing. As part of your shutdown procedure, always park on a level surface, lower any raised attachments, and run the engine at low idle for 5 minutes. This is particularly important to avoid possible damage to the turbocharger as it cools. Put the transmission in neutral, engage the stick control lockout, and make sure to activate the parking brake. Once the engine is cool, turn the key to the off position, remove it, and clean up and lock the cab. Just as when you climbed up, use 3 points of contact as you climb down. Next, turn the battery disconnect switch to the off position and check the machine for any leaks that may have occurred during your shift. Following the instructions and safety regulations in the operation and maintenance manual and adhering to the maintenance schedules will help keep your 844 Series 2 on the job, continuing the tradition of Caterpillar excellence in wheel dozers.